there, you're onto a special edition of the Power Circuit from the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. We are at the 132 kilovolts Karu transmission substation in Abuja, where TCN just delivered a replacement 60 MVA power transformer. This is to further boost the capacity of bulk power delivery around the environs, up to parts of Nasarawa State. In this edition, we have top of the chart reports packaged for your delightful view as you take a view at the Karu transmission substation. Power Minister promises to deepen sector reforms, marks 50 days in office. TCN to accelerate Walalambe Power Transmission Substation project. Ajaokuta Power Transmission Substation boosted as TCN rehabilitates circuit breakers. TCN begins work on new GIS Power Transmission Substation in Abuja. I am Amara Agogoesi, and you're watching the Power Circuits. The Minister of Power, Engineer Abubakar Aliyu, says he's committed to the power sector reforms through increased stakeholder engagement, as well as implementing key strategies to deliver improved electricity supply services to Nigerians. The minister expressed this in a statement to mark his first 50 days in office. Here is more on this.
Engineer Aliyu assumed duty as Minister of Power on September 5, after his appointment was announced by President Muhammadu Buhari at a Federal Executive Council FEC on September 1. He was the Minister of State, Works and Housing before he was redeployed to head the Power Ministry. On his action plan, the minister said his team has put in place gold delivery machinery, which is operational, and that soon many of the lingering challenges in the power sector are now being addressed in a methodical, systematic, and proactive manner. Some of the key projects he committed to working on their delivery include Kashimbila Power Station, Gurara Phase 2, Zungeru Power, Mambila Plants, Katsina Wind Farm, and others. The minister also pledged support for the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Transmission Rehabilitation and Expansion Program funded by various multilateral financial institutions, which is said is to ensure adequacy and stability of the national grid. On the Presidential Power Initiative, PPI, the minister says Siemens Nigeria and the federal government are working to lift national grid capacity from the average 4,500 megawatts per hour to 25,000 megawatts through the Nigerian Electrification Roadmap, NER. Engineer Aliyu was confident that the first phase of the Siemens Power Initiative for the upgrading and expansion of vital infrastructure of the TCN and DISCOs to attain 7,000 megawatts will commence soon. Meanwhile, the Minister of State Power, Godi J.D. Agba, has congratulated his colleague, Engineer Abubakar Aliyu, the Minister of Power, for his work ethics as shown in his first 50 days in office. J.D. Agba, in a statement, said the minister has demonstrated uncommon commitment towards achieving the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration's power agenda. On assumption of duty, the minister held a meeting with the directors of the Federal Ministry of Power and heads of agencies and parastatals under the ministry. The minister also held specific meetings with the management of the agencies and parastatals under the ministry, among which are the Transmission Company of Nigeria, the Rural Electrification Agency, REA. The heads of agencies briefed Engineer Aliyu about their milestones and challenges. Engineer Aliyu then held an expanded meeting with heads of power generation companies, GENCOs, and another session with heads of power distribution companies, DISCOs, where he tasked them on synergy towards collectively improving on the gains of the power sector. The minister, since assumption of duty, has met with key officials in the ministerial cabinet as well as officials from the private sector and multilateral agencies, including the Arabian Chamber of Commerce. The minister has been actively participating in the Federal Executive Council meetings while interacting with other colleagues as the Minister of Power as well as other players. Engineer Aliyu met with the governor of his state, Mai Mala Buni of Yobe State, and officials of the state government. At a recent State House function, the minister had an audience with the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed. The Minister of Power, Engineer Abubakar D. Aliyu, also received the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, who came on a courtesy visit to the minister at the Power House, Abuja. Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Aliyu Issa Pantami, the Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clement Agba, had also visited the minister recently, just as the minister met with Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, shortly after he assumed duty. In recognition of the minister's efforts so far, the National Council for Civil Society Organizations, NACSO, conferred an award of excellence on the Minister of Power, Engineer Abubakar D. Aliyu, for being an icon of diligent service and capacity builder in the power sector.
The acting managing director and chief executive officer of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, has paid a working visit to inspect ongoing installation works at the 2x30 40 MVA Walambe Power Transmission Substation in Kano State. Engineer Abdulaziz, who was in company of the members of the National Assembly, said TCN was accelerating work to ensure the power station project is completed on time.
In his remarks during the inspection, he said TCN has put in all efforts to ensure the power transmission substation project is completed in good time.
Actually, on our own part, we have put all our effort to make sure that we finish this job.
Engineer Abdulaziz said the project was initiated in 2005, but there were issues with fund release and with the contractor, which was not performing afterwards. To hasten the projects, the TCN has said TCN cleared the equipment abandoned at the ports by the previous contractor towards resuming the projects.
Management used its efforts to make sure that all the equipments that are at port are brought here. We brought all the equipments here. Then we asked our regional office, Kano regional office, to try and complete this project. We told our engineers to continue their job here. They were able to do all the gantries.
The TCN henchman said the company has prioritized the project under the Service Level Agreement SLA that will ensure the project is completed.
There is something we call SLA, Service Level Agreement. It is a project between distribution companies and transmission company. We sat down, we look at the projects we have, which are called interface projects, and Walambe was one of them. Fortunately for us, it has been approved. This project is under SLA and the procurement is almost completed. So within 2 weeks, we are going to award the contract or completion of this state substation to a contractor. We have already did procurement. We have 120 contractors that were pre-qualified. Now they are coming to buy the commercial tender. So this is the summary, sir.
On his part, the Chairman House Committee on Power, Honorable Magaji Dao Aliyu, said President Muhammadu Buhari has given directives that all projects must be completed.
And the president would like to commission this particular project. MD, you have my backing. You have my support. And I want to assure you, you are minister also, you have his backing. And as the chair of this committee and my co-chair in the Senate, we are going to ensure that some projects who are key in all the geographical zones in this country are completed for the president to commission.
Honorable Nasir Ahmed Ali, representing Nasarawa Federal Constituency of Kano State in the House of Representatives, commended the TCN head and his team on the work they are doing. In his response, Engineer Abdulaziz reiterated the commitment of the company towards completing the project in good time, as he called for efforts to clear any right-of-way issue for power evacuation from the substation.
We are going to pay attention and make sure that we finish this job in time, and you are welcome anytime to come and visit it. The only thing I want to mention is you also have to liaise with the distribution company, because if you look at here, this area is highly built. So getting the feeders out is also another challenge. The time we acquired this land in 2005, all these houses are not around. So the distribution people also have to make their own job. They have to know how they are going to radiate their feeders from this station.
The lawmakers and the TCN followed to inspect the extent of work that has been done at the project site.
Let's take a break, and when we return, we'll bring you more juicy reports from the power sector.
Verify that land before you buy it. To drastically reduce the incidence of building under the transmission right-of-way or encroaching on designated TCN land, members of the public are hereby requested to verify land near or along transmission line route before purchasing it. Verification should be made in the Land Development Authority or at the TCN office. This would help in drastically reducing the incidence of building under transmission line right-of-way and save us all the problem of pulling down the structure or truncating transmission line expansion projects in your community due to court injunction. Help us serve you better. Verify that land before you buy it.
The 330-132 kilovolts Ajaokuta Power Transmission Substation in Kogi State has been given a facelift by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, as the company rehabilitates the circuit breakers to ensure the critical power facility remains in top shape. Come with us to the substation as TCN management officials inspect the rehabilitation and training exercise.
The inspection team was led by the Regional Transmission Manager of Abuja Region, Engineer Ali Ibrahim Sharifai, who inspected the switchyard where the transformers are mounted and then the control room, as they checked the control panels of the substation to ensure they are in the finest operational condition. Having checked the control panels, the officials then returned to the switchyard. Engineer Sharifai also met with the rehabilitation team that was working on revamping the power substation's circuit breakers. The Regional Transmission Manager of Abuja Region, Engineer Ali Ibrahim Sharifai, in his remarks while inspecting the rehabilitation work on the circuit breakers as well as the training at the 330-132 kilovolts Ajaokuta transmission substation, said the exercise has a huge impact on the national power grid.
For you to remove a breaker when it has problem and replace is not an ideal situation. The best is if the equipment is good for you to rehabilitate, overhaul it and make it brand new. And you may be surprised, the new one that you can put may not even last longer than that rehabilitation time that equipment will have. So if I may say, it's very, very good. If we rehabilitate, it will bring flexibility to the circuit.
The Abuja Regional Head of TCN said he was confident that the TCN engineers participating in the exercise will make the most of the opportunity.
I'm expecting 110%, not only 100. I know they have the experience, but I want them to add more. Why they are here is because others that are not here, when they go back to their own destinations, they will give them that knowledge. And at the same time, either that's such problem, except if it's bulky, that's when we look for others from the other side.
The Assistant General Manager, Electrical and Technical Assistant to the ED, Transmission Service Provider, TSP, Engineer Abdul Kadir Gwaram Adamu, in an overview of the exercise said it was to ensure that this crucial facility is in top shape.
We are going to now rehabilitate 12 number circuit breakers in, let's say, in 2 months maximum. But if you are now installing these things now, each one of it, you know how long it will take for you now from foundation to commissioning, how long it will take. And then also, you now consider also the cost. Every day we know the cost of foreign exchange is escalating, but these ones now, and one good thing about this thing is that it is our local experts. Those experts were trained by the actual manufacturers of these circuit breakers, and over the years they have been the ones doing the job. Now they have become experts and they can really do this job, and we have tested them in so many places. They have done it for us, and that is why they are here again doing it. So this is 100% Nigeria local content.
Engineer Adamu said the circuit breaker rehabilitation exercise was also combined with the training of the younger generation of the TCN in-house engineers.
Another beauty of this job we are doing is that we are training our young engineers. So we are doing this now in Ajaokuta, which is in the northern part of Nigeria, and 5 regions are sending their engineers. And I believe by now we have had 5 sets actually, the PMT. So 5 times 4, that's 20, have come here and they have learned how to now do this job.
Assistant General Manager Transmission at the Ajaokuta sub-region of TCN, Engineer Tanku Balarebe Dami, said the sub-region, which is about 40 years old, is a crucial gateway for power transmission in Nigeria.
If you look at the configuration and the positioning of this work center, it fits directly to Abuja. So this rehabilitation will allow us faster, delivery of power to Abuja, and in case we have any problem, it is easier to be able to evacuate power to Abuja. And also the surrounding low centers, just like Lokoja, and also Ayimba, and also Okene, and Okmila.
Assistant Manager Electrical Engineer Rabiu Bala, who participated in the exercise, said the exercise also provided an opportunity to have more TCN in-house engineers trained on routine substation maintenance.
Has been a wonderful experience so far, and I'm very glad and lucky to have been part of the team to be participating in this rehabilitation exercise. It's been a wonderful experience. I believe TCN will be seeing a new breed of engineers in the sector and in the country at large. We'll take up our duties and prove that we are capable, and also move TCN to greater heights.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, is delivering a brand new gas-insulated substation, GIS, in Dawaki, near Gwarimpa in Abuja. The installation work, which is in progress, is expected to be completed swiftly to provide additional energy transmission capacity to the national grid.
The new 2x60 MVA gas-insulated substation, GIS, is part of TCN's effort to reinforce the high-voltage transmission ring project around Abuja, which will increase bulk power available for Abuja Disco to take to its customers in Abuja metropolis and environs. In his remarks at the project site, the Assistant General Manager Technical Services at the Abuja Transmission Region of TCN, Engineer Mahmoud Suleiman, said TCN will continue to execute new transmission projects even as it completes old ones for a more stable and efficient network.
Presently, we are at the Gwarimpa GIS transmission station. The project is ongoing, and today was a planned outage. To enable the contractor carry out some installation works on the line. And we have successfully today isolated the potential between Katampe, 122 kV station, and Suleja. And presently, with this operation, the contractor will be able to drop the conductor on tower between tower 79 and 80. They will drop it down and dismantle one of the tower, that is tower 79. Sorry. After doing that, the 2 towers will be erected as tower 79 plus 1 and tower 80. So these are the 2 towers that will be erected within a period of 2 weeks. Everything that goes fine within 2 weeks to be completed. This will enable us to restore our normal supply between Suleja to Katampe. But as it is now, the 2 substations fed on these 2 lines, that's Kubwa and Suleja, will be fed from Mina, 132 kV transmission line, which is fed from Shiroro.
Engineer Suleiman said the project is part of the Abuja feeding scheme that will add 5 more substations to Abuja towards boosting the bulk power transmission capacity for Nigeria's capital city.
I think the project is going in good phase. The phases have been achieved. So presently, once we are able to do this, complete this erection of the 2 towers within 2 weeks, we are done. Then the installation of the GIS switchgears will commence.
The project has a vast coverage area where power supply services will be improved upon once it is completed.
There are so many ongoing projects within Abuja and environments. We have about 4 transmission substations coming out, and Gorimpa is one of it. And basically around this axis is only Kubwa, 13233 kV station with a capacity of 2 by 60 MVA transformers. And basically there's issue of suppressed loads within this area. So with the coming of the Gorimpa transmission station, I think the issue of suppressed load will be overcome and supply will be improved within the area.
The project engineers talked at the transmission tower as they conducted a practical tower installation process at the project site. Also speaking about the substation project and the adjoining power transmission line, a senior manager system lines of the Gwagwalada sub-region, Engineer Emmanuel Guriasi, said their role is to insulate the transmission line that will feed the new substation to enable the engineering team complete a section of substation installation work.
After the outage of the line, we are to open jumper for enable the contractor do their work at this new substation. So that is exactly what we did here. If you look up now, you see where the jumper was open, so that they have seen it physically that the jumper has been opened.
A system lines official of the TCN Gwagwalada sub-region, Engineer Tukuru Turaki, said he is the permit holder for the installation of the 132 kilovolt transmission line from Suleja in Niger State to Katampe in Abuja to ensure the engineers are safe during substation project duration.
After the collection of the permit, then we proceed to tower 70 and 81, where our linesman crew disconnected the jumpers. After disconnecting the jumpers, the consultant came and rectified, confirmed that yes, it's okay, and then we come back to the yard.
With the power transmission line installation successfully completed, the engineering team of the project continued with the installation of critical components of the gas-insulated substation. GIS expected to boost bulk power delivery around Gorimpa, Kubwa and its environs in Abuja.
So that's the much we can bring to you in this edition. But before we go, a recap of the headlines. Power Minister promises to deepen sector reforms, marks 50 days in office. TCN to accelerate Walalambe Power Transmission Substation projects. Ajaukuta Power Transmission Substation boosted as TCN rehabilitates circuit breakers. TCN begins work on new GIS Power Transmission Substation in Abuja. Do well to keep track of this episode and all others with just a click on the TCN YouTube channel. And keep your support coming for TCN on these platforms as we join hands to ensure TCN delivers improved bulk electricity nationwide. With the outbreak of the Delta variant of the COVID-19 pandemic, ensure you get vaccinated and stick with the prevention protocols. We promise to hook you up again to the 132 kilovolts Karu Power Transmission Substation in a subsequent edition to provide an update on the completion of the 60 MVA power transformer installation. I am Amara Agugwesi, and see you next week.